I know. Hating Insta poetry is kind of like an overdone fad at this point. It would kind of be redundant for me to sit here and make a video about how it has very little substance. It's insulting to writers who actually put time and effort into their craft. It oftentimes does not have any poetic devices, so Lord knows why we call it poetry instead of sentences with indents in it. If you're unfamiliar with how problematic Insta poetry is, not only from a quality standpoint, but a pandering and consumerism standpoint, feel free to check out any of these videos or this article, which I've linked down below. So instead of hating on Insta poetry, as much as I love to do that, we're going to take a more positive approach by trying to salvage it. Hi, my name is Danae Young, and I'm a chronic poet. Thanks for your condolences. I'm the author of 2 published poetry chapbooks, along with poems published in around 45 different literary magazines. If you want to check out my work, the link to my website is in the description below, so shameless plug. So what I want to do is look at a few different infamous Insta poems and try to rewrite them, have actual poetic devices in them, have some level of complexity. I want to stay true to the original message of these poems, but that will be kind of difficult with some of them, given that there isn't much of a message there, but we're gonna do our best, okay?
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
I'll obviously be adding my own personal poetic style to the pieces when I rewrite them, but something I do want to challenge myself with is I do want to keep at least partially the simplicity of the original poems, write more simplistically than I typically do in my writing for my MFA or my books, just to prove that there can be, simplistic, accessible poems that are still good. Okay, I'm excited to get into it. I don't really know how this will go because I've never tried this before, but let's take a crack at it. Okay, so I thought we would do an Atticus poem. If you have not heard of Atticus, this is really all you need to know.
A lot of people ask me where the dark between the stars comes from, and it's got many meanings, and some people have messaged me what they think it is, and I think a few times I've been like, wow, I wish it was that, because that's really, really beautiful. So, actually, before I start, it's getting a little hot in here. Do you mind if I take off my mask? Thank you. So yeah, the dark between stars. I think.
I feel like I have to do the swimming pools one. The amount of commentators who bring this one up when they're just ragging on his collection, I gotta see if there's any way we can make this into something.
So I think that this poem right here is probably the stupidest poem in the book. Swimming pools were invented to kiss girls in the rain, and if they weren't, they should have been. Is that a deep poem to some people? Is that something where you're maybe swimming pools were invented for kissing?
Yeah, I have no clue how I'm gonna fix this. I mean, obviously there's the image of kissing in a swimming pool. What else is there? This one is just yeah, I like to snog girls in the pool while it's raining. So, Alright, maybe a starting point could be the image of kissing someone in a swimming pool, obviously.
No shit.
We can add some more world building and context behind that. So maybe during a thunderstorm, we jumped the fence around the neighborhood pool. Yeah, and we're done. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we jumped the fence around the neighborhood pool. I think I want to do something with the idea of the rain being water, and then also the pool is this body of water. So if I can attach some sort of symbolism or representation to water, then we can play around with the idea of it falling and gathering, pooling up in the pool. So I think I'm probably gonna end up taking a bit more of a somber approach to this poem. Maybe I could play around with the idea of when you're in a pool, the effect of the rain is almost negligible. You don't notice it as much because you are used to it. Your body is surrounded by this atmosphere of water. So if the water represents some sort of negative aspect of these two people's relationship, maybe by being surrounded by it, they are not able to then recognize that it's even around them. Time is made of water. So now I've connected the idea of rainwater with time, and time like slipping down your body and then meshing in with everything else. Like it's not discernible how much time has passed maybe within this relationship. Disappearing into concentric rings. I do want to integrate the idea of the swimming pool as an invention, like what was it invented for? I think it's silly, but like there's probably a way to put that in there as well in a way that's relevant. So let's just see where this takes us. I might delete this, but for now, so in this case, I want it to be a fascinating invention in that it numbs you to your surroundings. You become used to being in this like frigid water. So when the water falls on you and it's all around you, you don't even really notice. So that can be the way that it's a fascinating invention. I'm not going to go with the idea that it's a fascinating invention because we like to like make out with women there. So I'm going to say we don't realize how cold the rain is until we leave the pool. I do want to keep it simple. I feel like it needs like one more line, maybe ending on some sort of image. I do like the idea of including color in the image and having it hopefully stick in the reader's mind after they finish reading the poem. So until our lips are numbed purple. During a thunderstorm, we jump the fence around the neighborhood pool. Time is made of water, slipping down our necks and disappearing into concentric rings. And we think, what a fascinating invention. We don't realize how cold the rain is until we leave the pool, until our lips are numbed purple. You know what? I did all right. Like, I'm going to give myself some props on this one because y'all, it was looking rough. Like, I was about to give up. But let me know what you think down below. Here are the two poems compared. And if you want to try rewriting it, leave it down below in the comments. So for the next one, I'm going to do another Atticus poem. All right, so the poem that I chose is this poem. It doesn't seem to have a title unless the title is his name. Not really sure. Or maybe that's like a stylistic thing. And Instapoets be weird with, you know, aura farming like that. So let's read it aloud, shall we? My love, you have too many smiles left in you to be so sad. Oh, it's beautiful. So as you can probably see, I mean, it's incredibly basic, very cliche. So I'm trying to see what kind of interesting imagery we could possibly draw from this. What I'm thinking of now is instead of the line, like, you have too many smiles left in you, instead of interpreting that as a very broad, basic idea of like you have happiness inside you, maybe we could flesh that out in an interesting way through imagery that's like hyperbolized and exaggerated. So I'm kind of getting this image of teeth rattling inside someone's body from the memories of like all these people who have smiled and they learned how to smile from those people. I don't know, let's explore that. We might be able to do something interesting with that. So I'm just gonna write down that line. You have teeth rattling in your stomach. Maybe we can add some more detail or description of these like teeth. So maybe they won't decay. It's kind of like a symbol for the happiness that they learned to experience and accept through the people who they know. I feel like that's a more compelling idea than just like, you have happiness inside you. Why are you sad? Maybe we can expand on some imagery of the people who these like smiles belonged to. So I'm thinking of your mother's grin smudged with the red lipstick, like something that adds a bit more imagery to it, and that differentiates it. Oops. So your mother's grin smudged with red lipstick. And we can list some other sort of memories associated with smiling and teeth. So maybe like your uncle's golden molar. I can use the reflection off of this like golden tooth to give more context to like these memories that this person holds of happiness. So I'm trying to think of specifics that we can add to like kind of world build and character build. Reflecting, 10 burning candles on a cake. I feel like it needs one more. We've kind of included the imagery of smiling, I think we could include something with laughter, because that also shows people's teeth. Your father laughing at his own punchline. Okay, so within these lines, we've now kind of established some sort of character or context. I do feel like part of the issue with something that is so short and lacking detail as the original poem is that like it's very hard to get attached in any way to whoever the you character is that the person is speaking to, and it kind of lacks individuality. It's not unique at all. So I think bringing in specific details helps with that. So now that we've added some context, grounded details of these memories, we can kind of return back to the symbolism of the teeth inside of this person's body. I want to flesh out a little bit more why these teeth are the only thing that is like staying. Like out of all of these memories that have ended, these moments of laughter and like smiling is what stays. Courtney, I know, but that's what we're working with. So I think make a comparison maybe through simile of things sinking into the dirt and how fossils and bones kind of remain, and link that into an idea of the smiling and the happiness, like remaining. You ingested these memories like dirt swallows everything that reaches its end. We might come back to that, but I think that's pretty good for now. Now what I think I can do is maybe add more grounding details of the memories that have been lost. So things that like as this person has grown up, they have lost a connection with somehow. And that these teeth, like these smiles inside of them, are like the only thing that stays. So maybe I can put a colon here and then add some more details about things that are more ephemeral throughout this person's life. I'm thinking of like training wheels and popsicles, which are pretty like standard images of childhood, but I do want to keep a simplistic tone as I was saying. So I think that fits all right. And by 2017, mom. So with that single line, now I'm adding in a detail about this person's life that their mother passed away in 2017. So that is more information that allows us to attach to like whoever this character is. But the silt keeps whatever's too strong to truly leave. I don't like the imbalance on that line, so I think I might change that. So now we come to the end part of the poem. It's so funny to talk about like a 4-line poem. I guess it's technically 5 lines. You got me, Atticus. It's 5 lines, but as like having a middle and end. But I do think that the point of the poem that concludes is like, you should find this happiness inside of you that you've had all along and use that to not be sad today. I mean, he says, what does he say? Left in you to be so sad. Yeah, very compelling stuff there. To be so sad. So maybe we can think of like a better way to say that, or a bit more of like an interesting way, possibly. So when applied to like our expansion of that idea, I think we could use the word excavate, excavating the fossils and the bones and teeth inside of your memories and your body if you're speaking more figuratively. So I do like that idea. So I want to end on like a message of before you let yourself give into sadness in this current moment, excavate those fossils of the positive memories that you've had as a child. We can have like the imagery of someone crying. I think the word silt could sound good with salt, and salt goes into tears. So we could say, before you streak your face with salt, and say again with salt. And then something that kind of ties the entire message of the poem together. So you are an archaeologist learning how to smile. The only thing I don't like about that is because it's a rediscovery, learning doesn't really fit. That's as if it's like something completely new. So I guess I can replace learning with rediscovering how to smile. Rediscovering how to smile. Okay, so I mean, the last line is definitely a little cheesy. The poem in general is a little bit cheesy. I think I tend to feel that way about like happy poems. I'm just emo like that. But I think that this would be an example of like a poem that has somewhat intriguing imagery and ideas in it, but is simplistic and is commenting on a similar thing as this original poem. I guess since we're trying to keep the original spirit, of Atticus's poem. I guess we can just go ahead and just do that.
What is that?
Yeah. Should I give them their ampersand? The Insta poets like really do love a good ampersand. Like they love that. It's their bread and butter, I would say. So let's see, train wheels and popsicles. And by 2017, I think those are all the uses of it. I don't really like have a problem with the ampersand as long as the value of the poem is not weighing on these very surface level aesthetic choices, along with like the lowercase I. Okay, so for this end poem, we have, you have teeth rattling in your stomach. They won't decay. Your mother's grin smudged with red lipstick. Your uncle's golden molar reflecting 10 burning candles on a cake. Your father laughing at his own punchline. You ingested these memories like dirt swallows everything that reaches its end. Training wheels and popsicles, and by 2017, Mom. But the silt keeps whatever's too strong to truly leave. Excavate the fossils you've stored inside your body. Before you streak your face again with salt. Remember, you are an archaeologist, rediscovering how to smile. So here are the two poems. This one is Atticus's version, King Atticus, and then this is mine. So let me know what you think down in the comments. I saved an absolutely horrendous poem by Gabbie Hanna for another video just because this one ended up being longer than I thought it would. So if you're interested in seeing that video, please give this video a like or, subscribe if you're feeling crazy like that. It's a brand new channel, so I would really, really appreciate it. See you next time.